Hello friends, today we will understand control structure in the lecture 2. So in control structure we will come to the some condition always, and whenever there is a condition there are two ways, one in the true side, second in the false side. So what is control structure? A program is usually not limited to linear sequence of instructions. During its process, it may bifurcate, that is, either repeated code or take decisions. For that purpose, C language provides control structures that serve to specify what has to be done by our program, when and under which circumstances. So let the very first statement in branching, that is if statement. In this statement, very first we will check condition. If this condition is true, true statement is executed. If it is false, the true statement is ignored, that is not executed, and the program continue right after this conditional statement. Means if the test expression is true, you have to execute by default body of if, that is the true statements, and then go to just statement just below if. However, when test expression is false, in this case you have to jump after the body of if and then continue statement just below if. We will see the one practical example of if statement. Program to check is input number is even or odd. In this program, we will make small logic. Very first, we will declare a number, a data, a one number, and take input. After getting input, we will check if that number is mod of 2 not equal to 0. If it is not equal to 0, then number should be what? That is odd. And let another if that will check your remainder is 0. If it is 0, then naturally number is even. Now we will see the another example of if statement. Now in this statement we will check is input number 0 positive or negative. The logic is very simple. First read a number and check first if condition. If number is 0, then we will simply say number is 0. But let your number greater than 0, then number is positive. And if number lesser than 0, then number is, but naturally number is a negative. So we are using here 3 if, because we do not using the else statement. Now we will see the another example of if statement, that is to find biggest number in a given 3 number. Now here we will learn the new logic that very first we will assume any number as a big number. Here I am assuming A is a big number. Now we will check whether B is greater than big. If it is there, then big is equal to B. Again we have to prove that my big is should be greater than C. If it is there, then okay, otherwise we have to swap number. Now lastly we will get number as a biggest number. Now we will see the another branching statement, that is if else. If true side, else false side. Now this is control flow structure. Very first we have to test expression. If expression is true, then we will execute the body of if and then continue our statement just below if else. In another side, if test expression give the false, then we will go in the another branch and execute body of else and then continue statement just below if and else. Let we will understand the format syntax of if else. What is that? If text expression in the parenthesis, then we will use true block in curly bracket, then we will write else false block in the curly bracket. In this syntax, if else are keywords. Let we will see the one practical example. This example basically giving the your idea for eligible for voting or not. So for voting, your age should be greater than 80 or equal to 18. So logic is simple. Let very first inputting one number, you check your age is greater than equal to 18. If it is true, then execute you are eligible for voting, else you say you are not eligible for voting. Now in this example, after if there is no curly braces, after else there is no curly braces. It means where we will put curly braces, where we will not put the curly braces. So this is the simple logic. If there is one statement, then there is no need of curly braces. It is known as a simple statement. If there are two statements, after if we have to use curly braces because this concept known as a compound statement. Now we will see the nested if else statement, that is branching statement. Now we will see the control flow of nested if statement. Let there is a condition 1. If condition is true, then we will check another condition. If condition is again true, then we will execute statement 1, and after that we will continue to our linear instructions, that is the statement X and then the next statement. But if condition 1 initially become false, then we will execute statement 3 and then join to the statement X and then next statement. And if condition 1 is true but condition 2 is false, then we will execute the false block of the condition 2, that is statement 2, then statement X, and the next statement. Now we will see the syntax of nested if else. If condition 1, then you have to write another if condition 2 and execute the true block, else execute the false block of condition 2. If condition 1 is false, then we will execute the false block of condition 1. We will see the practical problem. Write a program to read two number and find is both number are same, or variable 1 is greater than variable 2, or variable 2 is greater than variable 1. If that is the true site, the ladder we will use if in the else site. We will see the control flow. If condition 1 is true, then we will execute statement 1 and join directly statement just below if. But if condition is false, then we will execute condition 2 and then statement 2 and then join to the statement just below if. If condition 2 is false, then condition 3, and if condition 3 is true, then statement 3 will execute, else by default the last statement will execute. This is basically known as a default block. We will see the syntax. If condition 1, then true statement 1, else if condition 2, true statement 2, and last false, that is the default statement, else false statement. Now one practical problem. Write a program to check input character. Is uppercase, is lowercase, is digit, is special character. Now here we will use the ctype.h header file. We have a ctype.header file. Enter the character through %c. Now use the is upper. If it is true, then print the input character is uppercase. Else again check is lower and print if condition is true, input number is lowercase. Else again check another condition is digit. If it is true, then execute input number is digit. Else by default we can say input character is a special character. Now we will see the switch case in the C programming. It is a multiple branching. Now in multiple branching, we will start from the one expression, that is the switch on single expression, and if this expression is equal to the first constant, then we will execute true block under the first case, that is the code block 1, and then we will go to the next of the switch. If there is code block, then we have to also use the break here. If your case 1 is not equal, then we will execute the case 2, similarly case 3. Now at the end there is also a default code. If nothing will be true, then we will execute the default code. Now we will see the syntax. Switch on n, then case constant 1, we will execute the statement under the case constant 1, then we will use the break. Using this break, we will directly jump to the next of the switch case structure. If the case constant 1 is false, then we will go for the case constant 2, and if it is correct, it is true, then we will execute the statements below the case constant 2 and then break. And lastly, if nothing cases are true, then we will execute the default and then the statement under the default. In this syntax, let's count how many keywords. Very first, switch is a keyword, case is a keyword, break is a keyword, also default is a keyword. So how many keywords are in syntax of switch case? 4. There are 4 keywords we are using in the switch case statement. See the one example of performing addition, subtraction, multiplication or division that is depend upon the input operator. In this example, we will make a data type character operator, then we will use two number n1 and n2 as an integer. So very first we will take a input as an operator, plus for addition, minus for subtraction, star for division, multiplication and slash for division. After taking this input character, we will also read two number. After getting this input section, we will switch to our operator. As our operator is plus, minus, multiplication, slash, division, these all are character constants. And if this character plus is true, then take the addition of n1 and n2. So this is the expression, and then we will use the break. Similarly, minus, multiplication, division, and lastly default. If no operator is matched with plus, minus, multiply, division, then what we will do? We will just use the default and print error, operator is not correct.